Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien here on the morning of Sunday, March 19th, 2023. And you Americans and humans, this question is for you. How can you say you have a good society when you don't even understand your society? Question point. And here's my question. Do you know about Richard Stockton? A lot of people don't know about him, huh? Okay. Today, you guys and CNN are growling about former President Trump saying, I will get arrested because I'm supposed to be indicted in the state of New York on Tuesday. Yeah. Okay. And you fervent Democrats and Republicans like Miss Lynn Cheney are saying, well, he's supposed to be held accountable for what he did. Really? There's a lot of people that have never been held accountable for what they did. And I equate former President Trump in that category, equal to the worst guy that made the disaster and never got punished for it, Richard Stockton. Too bad they don't teach you in high school about your Declaration of Independence, do they? Richard Stockton was a lawyer, very much wealthy, from New Jersey. He went to what later became Princeton University. And he was one of the 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence. Okay? Yeah. But 5 months after he signed, and no, they did not sign in July 4th, 1776, in that picture that you have in Congress of the delegates to the Declaration of Independence that was done, that painting, that's a farce. Because you got delegates from that, you read the papers from the delegates later, like Benjamin Franklin and Benjamin Harrison, I think it's Harrison from Pennsylvania. I'll check that and confirm it later. But the mood at the signing of the Declaration of Independence wasn't yippee. It was more like, oh God, we're signing our death warrants here. And they did sign it on August 2nd, 1776, not July 4th, 1776, okay? 56 members signed it. And everybody always growled. When I was in high school, they always told me, oh, there was one guy that didn't sign it, George Washington. But they didn't understand their history and why Georgie didn't sign the Declaration of Independence. Because he was busy with a task that the Second Continental Congress put on him. The Revolutionary Army in New York. Remember, in October 1775, Georgie, over in England, George III, otherwise known as Georgie, had officially stated that he considered the colonies in North America an open rebellion. Because the First Continental Congress had sent them, hey, we want to be part of your thing here. Just consider us British. And that's something the British in England, especially London, did not want to consider anybody outside of the United Kingdom. Not even the Irish were considered British. And the Americans didn't consider them because they said, no Irish need apply. So see, you had that kind of detriment. And why do I say President Trump and Richard Stockton? Richard Stockton was one of the signees of the Declaration of Independence, one of the 56. But a couple months after he signed that in August of 1776, he got captured by the British. Ugh. And remember that Georgie had a thing that you capture one of those guys and bring him here and we'll hang him. And Georgie wanted a hanging. Oh, Georgie, Georgie. And to make matters worse, 9 of your Declaration of Independence signees were tortured and killed by the British. They don't tell you that in high school, do they? Look them up. 9 of them died in prison. And another 9 had their sons, and 1 had his wife arrested, and she died of torture in a British prison. Okay? So you have this on your Declaration of Independence signees. Because remember, the last thing that they had in there was, we pledge our fortune, our sacred honor, and our lives to this endeavor. When you sign something like that and you got that last pledge, you better live up to it. Richard Stockton never lived up to that. He recanted his signing of the Declaration of Independence, and the British officers at the time didn't torture him and gave him a release papers, and they're still around, by the way. You Americans took him back in open arms. Yippee! Nothing was said about that. Really? What happens to, you got 9 people that were tortured and killed that signed that document, and he recanted that document, and he got set free and lived his life for another couple of years. He died in 1781. To make matters worse, go almost 200 years in the future. September 8th, 1969. And there's a university that was named for him in the state of New Jersey, Stockton University. They could have named it anything else but that. And there's a group of people that are still growling since 1969 about why did this Board of Regents of New Jersey name a university after Richard Stockton, Stockton University. You see what I mean, Americans? President Trump has all the right to say what he's saying because presidents is there for him, otherwise known as Richard Stockton. And that's what the people of New York, because their neighbor, New Jersey, did not act on Richard Stockton back in 1777. Therefore, how can you indict President or former President Trump? And I'm not a Trump fan. I hate Trump with a passion. He's disastrous for the American people. But unfortunately, you have to go by precedents. And precedent says you cannot indict a former president because you never indicted a signer of the Declaration of Independence for recanting. You never took away his citizenship either. How can you be so lame, Americans? This is your favorite alien. Good day.